All right, I got another good one here for you about liars. You know, the kind of lies that people with the facts have, and people, just so happily and eagerly swallow the lies. I don't understand. In astronomy, astronomy itself is the study of stars and the universe, the movement of planets, the movement of the stars, Um, and with the Hubble space telescope, I mean, we can see, like the Bible says, the heavens and earth proclaim the name of God. It's just the beauty, just fantastic. So, along with the Hubble telescope, we've always known about black holes, right? Everybody knows about the black hole. And the scientific community, you know, they say, oh, a black hole is something that has so much gravity that it light cannot escape this gravity, because the gravity of this black hole, is so scary and so mysterious. So they go around telling everybody, yep, a black hole, it's a wormhole, it's a time warp device, I mean, just a bullshit. It's just fucking unending. It just boggles the mind. The smallest little observation by a fifth grader can tell that that is a big lie. Look at a star, first of all, just to give you a slight idea of the magnificence of the stars, of what God has set up in the heavens. It's just fantastic. There's light that we see from the stars. When you look up in a really dark night or whatever, when you see a star, you actually are not seeing what we would call like the aura of a star, like say the sun. When I used to think that when I'm looking at the star, what I'm looking at is a sun, and then that's the light that comes away from the sun. When you look at our sun, it obviously puts out a lot of heat and a lot of light, and so I just made the conclusion, it must be that. But it's not true. The truth is that the light that we see and that we call a star is just pure light all by itself. It appears to have no source. That by itself should tell you something right there. So all of these stars, all that light, is a light unto itself, and it appears to have no source. The source is God, of course, Well, obviously I know that, and you should know that, but somehow God has set light specifically to that star. And like the Bible talks about, each star will maintain its own specific splendor. The splendor of a star is unique to each individual star. Each one of them is very unique, but it's a light and it has no source, apparently. I mean, in the sense of a sun. Okay? So, we start with that particular point. Now, because we've got so many telescopes, up in space and on the Earth observing, we know that galaxies fall into basically pretty much to two categories. The stars are just like all of other creation, the rest of creation. They have their averages. They have, major galaxies, and you have minor galaxies. Okay? So you got two different forms. So when you're looking up there, you're looking at a major galaxy or you're looking at a minor galaxy. And then, you have other things like nebulas, and then you have these stars, you know, that are just totally by themselves. Just they don't even have any, you know, like the psalmist says, you know, each star has its treasuries, you know. I think it was a psalmist. I can't remember where I read that. But each star has, you know, each galaxy has a star, and then the star has its treasuries. And the star is light, just pure light. And then it has its treasuries, you know, the spiral treasury, you know, is really, man, you start just considering this stuff, you know, a spiral treasury, you know, the depths of God are really pretty incredible. Well, now take it to the next step. Every single major star galaxy has its own black hole. Every single one of them. And now we're even discovering that every minor galaxy has its own black hole. Every single one of them has its own black hole. Now, the vastness of space, just consider, you know, just things in scale. You know, if you have a full-size car, and then you go down to a 1/10 scale, you have a model, right? So just kind of think of, you know, an exact duplicate of the car sitting on your table, but it's at a 1/10 scale. So you got this 1/10 scale. Well, if you look in space, just consider everything in it on the point of scale. You have a star, and every star galaxy has a black hole within about, you know, some of them are as close as like 2 inches. You know, I mean, they're in comparison, you know, and comparatively, they're like right next to it. And yet, that black hole is not sucking any of the light away from the star. And yet these scientists say that these black holes are, you know, have so much gravity and so much mass. You know, it's just another one of their lies. Just there's such an obvious explanation, you know, and it comes down to a thing called dark matter. You know, scientists, they all like to say this dark matter, ooh, dark matter, you know. And then, you know, some of these scientists are even coming out and saying, you know, there is more dark matter in the universe by like a factor of 10, you know. Well, not a factor of 10, but there's like 10 times more material called dark matter than there is that makes up for all of the stars and all of the star treasuries. You start getting your mind around that. And it's true, you know. It's actually, the number is quite a bit larger than that. And is dark matter, you know, scientists like to confuse, you know, we preface that all of the popular scientists like to lie and confuse the general population as much as they possibly can. They want to lie to you as much as they possibly can. So they invent these words that are so dark matter. Dark matter. Well, to you and I, we would call it dirt. That's what it is. It's just dirt. It's just dirt. Dark matter. It's just dirt. Oh. Just dirt? Yeah. And there is a lot of it. There's a whole lot of it. All you got to do now, you know, if you're a construction worker and you're watching this, or if you're a gardener and you're watching this, well, it's dirt. Okay. Okay, 2 plus 2 is 4. Well, let's go to the next step. If you go to a field and it hasn't been plowed recently, or you go out to your garden, it's sat all winter long, and you take a shovel, and you put the shovel into the dirt, and you make a hole. When you're done making the hole, then you put the dirt back into the hole. What do you got? Yeah, a black hole. It's just dirt that is darker and more richly colored than the surrounding dirt. Think about that. Yep, just think about that. Okay.